are listening to the Jura Synchro podcast with Tiia and Ria.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Jura Synchro podcast.
And welcome to this episode. Today we're going to have a very relaxed and chilled episode, and we're going to talk about stories that have happened in the practice, in competitions. The stories are a little bit embarrassing, awkward, funny.
Yeah, and we're going to share stories that you have sent to us, and also the stories that we have.
Yeah, because we have a lot. Well, let's get started. Tiia, you can start.
Yeah, so I want to talk and tell you first what happened to me on my first Marigold Ice Ninja season. I had a teammate who came with a train from a different city to the city where I lived in, and I would usually pick her up, and together then we would drive to the ice rink. And at the time it was the end of the world when this happened. So it was a morning practice, it was Saturday morning, and I started from my home, driving straight to the ice rink. I drove maybe 20 minutes or half an hour, minding my own business. And then it just came to my mind like, oh my god, I forgot to pick her from the train station.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
And if I remember correctly, it was maybe a winter time.
Yeah.
So she was there in the train station waiting for me, and I didn't have my phone while I was driving. Then I had to just, when I realized that I forgot her, then I just pulled over, and I think I first called to my father, get up and go to the train station, pick her up and bring her to the ice rink. And then I drove all the way to the ice rink. And I remember at that time it was very, we didn't want to be late. Mm-hmm. So then I had to go to our captain this person will be late because I forgot to pick her up.
I remember it was the first year when we skated in Marigold, so it was a little bit
it was super embarrassing, but luckily I'm a good friend with her still. And she just teases me sometimes that I forgot her, but
it's a funny story.
It is, but at the time it was very embarrassing. It was the end of the world, but
I can understand, and we were not that good friends yet with her, so it was a little bit complicated.
Because it was the first season and we were just getting started, but it was funny.
But luckily you are good friends today. Okay, so there's this one story that one of our friends forgot her skate at the hotel when we were at the official practice. Do you remember that, Tiia?
I do. So I think we were in the dressing room.
Yeah, we were in the dressing room and started to put our skates and dress on, and then she was like, oh no, I have only one skate with me. Well, our manager started calling to the hotel because we were at the juniors that time, and the seniors were still, our club seniors were still at the hotel. So manager started to call to the senior managers that, hey, can you help us? Can you go and get the skate from her hotel room? And she got the skate from the hotel room, and the managers went with our coach's car to the hotel, and the senior team's manager just threw the skate through the car window, and then the managers started driving to the ice rink, and some of us were maybe already on the ice in the official practice.
I remember she was sitting on a bench. She had everything ready, one skate on, and then she was just waiting for the other skate to come. And but it was just in time, before the official practice, the program started.
Yeah.
But probably she didn't have time to do the warm-up on the ice.
No.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this has happened to every team at some point.
Yeah, and I have a similar story myself also. I slept late. I had a nap during the day and I was late for the practice. I was panicking. I started at home putting all my stuff together, went to my car, drove to the ice hall, and I was late already for the warm-up. And then I noticed that I don't have my other skate with me. And I think, was this also our first year or second?
I can't remember.
Like you're already late and then you don't have the skate. And then this time I had to call my grandpa that can you go to my place and pick my skate and bring it.
But luckily your grandpa didn't have anything on the day.
Yeah.
And you got on the ice.
Right. I did, but I was late. I was late again.
This is the Jura Synchro podcast.
So we got a story also from one of our listeners. She skated at juveniles when she forgot her skate at practice. And she left the practices happy, and in 2 days they had the other practice, and she opened her bag and she was like, oh no, there's only one skate in here. And she was young, she was very panicked about the situation. But luckily her coach was very, very nice, and she had the skate. She had found it after the practice and kept it in the locker.
Yeah, but apparently she was mad.
Yeah, she was mad, but luckily she got it.
Yeah. We also got another story from our listener that they had a camp this summer actually, and one of her teammates had left her skates to the home like 200 kilometers away, and apparently she was too afraid to tell to the coach. So there was one other team member who was in quarantine. So this person who forgot her skates was able to loan the other person's skates for 2 or 3 days. So she was probably feeling a bit pain.
Yeah.
Loaning someone else's skates and not telling to the coach.
Yeah.
That's like...
I don't know, it's so hard to skate even with new skates, and then in a camp where you have a lot of hours on the ice.
Yeah.
It must have been very hard to skate.
And then you don't even tell anyone, so...
Yeah. Well, she got to be on ice in the camp and nobody knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also one story that happened to our teammate. We were going home from a competition. I think we were in United States, maybe. And we have this carry-on bag that we always have with us in the airplane, where we have our competition dresses and everything that we need in the competition, but not our skates, because you can't have your skates in the airplane.
Yeah.
So one of our teammates really forgot the skates in the carry-on bag, and she noticed it in the security control in the United States.
Yeah.
So they were not happy about it, because she was really bringing sharp blades inside the airplane. But luckily it ended well, and she got to leave her luggage back to the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a very funny story also.
Yeah. This is also the one story that wasn't funny at the time, basically, but this happened actually twice. So when we leave at our home rink, we leave from the locker room, we close all the doors and all the bathroom doors, we locked everything. And the last person locked all the doors, went to the ice, we started warming up, and then our coach said that let's start the program. So everyone went on their and then we realized that one person is missing. And we had locked her to the bathroom.
Yeah, we have the showers and the bathrooms in the same space. So if you lock the shower room, you lock also
the person who was in the bathroom. So we were maybe on the ice like 15 to 20 minutes, and we were missing one person because we had locked her.
Yeah.
And this happened twice for the same person.
I don't know how it's possible that it was the same person, and she was quite mad.
Yeah. But I don't blame her.
Yeah, I understand totally. And then there's a story from our coach.
Our former coach.
Yeah, our former coach, Kata. And she's also a former marigold ice hockey skater. She told us that they were warming up for a competition in Finland, and suddenly someone came and said, "You have only 5 minutes time to be on ice." And the skaters and the coaches were like, "What? No, we haven't." But it was true. They had only 5 minutes time. They had watched the timetable wrong or something. And they started running towards the locker rooms, and people were bouncing to the walls and falling down because they were in a panic mode. Well, then they went to the locker room, started putting their costumes and skates on, and they went one by one to the ice because everybody was not at the same time ready. And everybody went on their own time on the ice and did a warm-up, and then they started the program. And the program did not go well either. 9 skaters fell during the program, and one by one in different places of the program. So that did not end well either.
But that's so awful, because when you're preparing for the competition routine, you want to be in the mental, you want to be chilled, you want to be ready. I can only imagine if someone says like, okay, you have 5 minutes to be on the ice and you don't have anything ready, you're not in the locker room yet. So,
it must have been very panic mode. Yeah. Luckily, when we were skating, we had one girl in our team that was very, very, like, always thinking of the timetable, that we are always on the right. So I really love that. She made sure that we're never late at anywhere.
Yeah. And I think our captains had, we had this skater pass. I think they had a timetable there also.
Yeah, they had.
So they could...
all the time.
Yeah, they could check.
Yeah. So it was not only in the coach's responsibility. Yeah. It was also the skaters.
Yeah. We also got a story from our listener that there was a fire alarm in Leon Lurie Trophy in 2006. And at the time, they and their team was in the locker room getting ready, and I think that has also been a quite stressful moment to go outside with all your skates and you're like, what's happening? And we heard that Team Fantastic was on the ice at the moment. Yeah, so they had to stop their program and go outside, and then when the fire alarm went off, they had to start the program again. And we got a skater's story that in the World Synchronized Skating Championships Colorado 2007, they had an 17, sorry, had an incident that some of the skaters forgot their black tights at the hotel. So they were in the dressing room already, and they were starting to put their competition clothes on, and they noticed that a few of the skaters had forgotten the black tights at the hotel. Well, luckily the manager's son was free, and he went to the hotel and got the black tights of the skaters that didn't have them with them there.
So luckily there was the manager's son.
Yeah.
And everybody got their black tights just in time for the free skate.
Good. And I also remember this has happened at least twice in Finland in different competitions, different teams and different seasons, but that someone's dress has opened so that the dress has fallen and they've had to like skate at the same time and they're trying to suit up the dress again. That must have been awful.
Yeah, it has been very awful. I have experience, but not in a competition. It was in an normal practice where I think we had our...
Was it like a dress rehearsal?
Dress rehearsal, yeah. We had our competition dresses on and then it opened and you had to skate with open dress. And we usually don't wear a bra underneath, so it was very awkward, but I skated the whole program through.
And we didn't have audience at the time, so that was good.
Yeah, that was very good. But this happens sometimes.
Yeah. I think after that we've had like zillion these zippers and buttons and everything in our dresses.
Yeah, it's important.
And also one funny story from our team. I think it was our first year maybe.
In senior?
Yeah, in senior. Yeah, at one competition, it was a practice. I'm not sure if was it official practice maybe.
Yeah, it was.
There was a skater and she was doing spiral maybe. And at that time we noticed that she had another set of like stockings underneath her dress. So
it was like going like all the way.
Yeah, with that was funny. That was funny. Underneath her skirt there was another pair of stockings coming.
Yeah, it was so hilarious when we were on the ice and we noticed it. Like, no.
And I think we all laughed.
Yeah. We've had so good team spirit at the time. So
that was funny.
It was funny, not like embarrassing.
No, that was funny.
Yeah. So there was also a time that my blade broke. During the competition. This was not awkward, funny, nothing. It was just terrible. And we were at the short program practice, and after the practice I started wiping my blades and I noticed that why does it
feel loose
or something, and I was like to my coach that is there something wrong with my blade? And she was like, no, there's nothing. And I was like, look, it's off. It's
completely off.
Off from the
heel.
Yeah. And then we looked again, and she looked again, and she was like, "Oh no, that's really bad."
Yeah.
So we started running to the ice rinks, skate sharpeners, and they said that no, you're never going to skate with that blade again. And this was after the short program official practice. And I started crying because I was in panic that I can't skate with this skate anymore. Do I have to put new blades on for the short program? Well, we had this one skate sharpener and our coach called him, and the sharpener got the blade together, luckily, and I got to skate the short program with the fixed blade. Well, after the short program, I washed the blade and it was again broken. Yeah. So I was like, oh, the free program tomorrow, what are we going to do? Well, I got new blades.
Yeah.
I got new blades, and then I went to the free skating official practice with a new blade, both skates. But everything went well.
Yeah, good.
I skated very well.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different, but crazy that you can do something like that.
Because sometimes when you have new skates or new blades, you're like, it feels like the whole week is like you're just learning to skate again. But
Yeah.
you went straight to the practice and then next to the competition.
I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah. This reminds me of one thing that happened at the competition. We had a moving wheel in our program, and somehow this person, maybe she was a bit confused at which way we're doing the program. She started, she was the end of the line, the person in the end, and she started to move the wheel to the wrong direction. So everyone else moved to the right and she moved to the left, just by herself.
Yeah, because she was in the end of the line, so she just went there, and everybody else were moving on the other side.
Yeah. Of course, she noticed quite quickly that, oops, wrong direction.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Jura Synchro Podcast.
We got a story from our listener that they had a competition, and usually when you are in a competition in a different city or different country, you have these meetups with the team and do something together, talk about the competition or anything, you know. So there was a meetup downstairs and you had to check the costumes, that everything was okay, and they forgot, they didn't know, and they were 30 minutes late from the meeting. And then somebody called that, where are you? And they were just chilling at the hotel room, minding their own business. And then they came, and it was funny and awkward.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think this has happened also to every team.
I think so. Probably to us too.
Yeah, probably. If you have a mate in the hotel room that does not have any timetable, then you might caught up just chilling at the hotel.
Yeah.
But I remember that we got the rule that if you're late, you have to bring a candy bag to the whole team. And after that, the late things were not so...
Yeah, people started to be on time. Yeah. And do you remember what happened to us? We were coming home from a camp. It was a winter time. I don't remember were we on seniors or juniors, but there were two teams in the bus. Did we came home from a camp?
Yeah.
And we stopped at this gas station just to buy some snacks and everything. And when we went back to the bus, it didn't start at all.
Yeah,
and
I remember this.
I think a lot of many of us went to the back of the bus to like push it at the same time when the driver
bus driver was like, okay, push. And all of the skaters were pushing through the snow, and it was snowing very much, and we were all wet. But luckily
the bus started again and we were back going home. But
and I remember the ride took us like very long.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Because there was many accidents happening.
Because of the weather.
Because of the weather, So there's another story from Kata.
Yeah.
And when she was skating in Marigold, they were in a summer camp. And in Finland we use sauna a lot. And there was a sauna on the beach. And they had a very good team spirit, and they were all naked in the sauna and going swimming naked. And then they decided that let's go together to the beach and swim. And the beach is, you have to walk a very long way.
From the sauna.
Yeah, from the sauna to the beach. And also the water is very low for a long time, so you have to walk very long time that the water is up here.
Yeah, up neck.
Yeah. So then they went all naked and they were swimming very together, and they noticed that, oh no, there's a basketball men team coming to the beach. And they were like, oh no, we're all naked here, and the men usually maybe want to look at the woman. So they were all cold because they were waiting that the basketball team would leave. Well, they didn't leave, so they had to come up with a plan. So they had a plan that they swim
all the way up,
to the
shoreline.
Shoreline, like alligators, and trying to be under the water.
Yeah.
And then when there was no space to swim like an alligator anymore, the coach said that ready, steady, go, and they all stood up at the same time and ran to the sauna with a big group. Yeah. But there's also, you have to go
up the stairs
up, so the stairs you can't go many girls at the same time. So well, that was a funny story also from a summer camp.
That was.
Tiia Ria, the podcast.
And one thing that happened to me, I think this was at a competition also. We were in a hotel and with one of our teammates, we were trying to reach with the elevator, which was full of our teammates. We started running towards the elevator because we saw it's leaving soon, and we missed it. So the doors just closed before me, and I fell to the floor in the hotel lobby. It was full of people. I think there was also our teammates and everything.
Yeah, I was there. I was watching.
I fell on the floor, and I remember our coach. She probably didn't say anything. She just came, took a picture of me, and left.
Yeah,
and I was laughing in the floor. That was funny.
And this awkward story also happened when we were in juniors or seniors. Juniors, yeah. And we were in a dance class, and at the time we used like
very loose
pants.
Yeah.
Tight pants were not in the...
they were not trendy at the moment.
No. Loose pants, and we were dancing, and suddenly we noticed that, what's on the floor? And one of our teammates' menstrual pad was on the floor. And it was so funny that everybody was like, what is that on the floor? And then suddenly one of our teammates was like, oh no. She took it and it went to the bathroom. But we had a good team spirit at the time, so it was just funny. It was not so awkward, but I remember this very well. And this week something happened to me at practice when I was coaching. And I think every skater has done this. So I went on the ice with my
skate guards.
Yeah.
On. And of course you fell probably.
Of course I fell. And it's so funny that when you are going to the ice and then you notice like, oh no,
I forgot.
Oh no, I didn't took them off.
Yeah.
And then you fall. And this time I really hurt my butt.
Oh no.
It's still a bit.
How can this happen to you?
Yeah. Still.
After so many years. And
yeah.
That's funny.
And then all the skaters were like, oh no, are you okay?
And you're as a coach like,
yeah, everything's nothing happened. I'm all right.
And we also got this story from our listener that over 10 years ago when she was in advanced novice team, the coaches were they were watching the program, and the skater was a substitute skater, so skating alone, and apparently she wasn't watching where she was going. And she collided with her coach so that the coach broke her hip. So it must have been a quite bad fall.
Yeah.
That's so awful.
Yeah, it was very bad. How can you break your hip? And usually as an advanced novice skater, you're quite small still. Yeah. You're not a big skater as in seniors.
Yeah.
But
I can only imagine how she must have felt as a young skater and broken her coach's hip, so
Yeah.
to speak.
That is very true.
Yeah. But you know, these are the incidents that happen, and I think it's so important to share them and laugh to them. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember that one time in our practice, we had this same situation that we were going around the rink like this, and then our coach came just through
Yeah.
and went to the
Other side of the room. Yeah.
and somebody came.
Yeah.
Bang! But nothing bad happened. Nobody broke any bones.
Yeah.
But this is something that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening. And thank you all who shared their stories with us. We had so many of them. Unfortunately, we couldn't share them at this episode.
Yeah. Thank you, and thank you for listening.
Yeah. And stay tuned for our next episode.
Yeah.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Jura Synchro Podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. The musical theme of this show was created by Scatmix.pro and Carl Hugo.